You're watching YCN, your local view. Program airtime is underwritten in part by Bar Harbor Bank and Trust. Looking to purchase your dream home, finance your business, or just find a better checking relationship? Our New Hampshire team is here to help you. We make award-winning banking happen every day. Contact us to see how we can help you. Member FDIC.
The Lake Sunapee region is one of the few communities in the country where you can ski year-round. During the summer season, the lake provides water skiing, fishing, swimming, and boating. During the winter, Mount Sunapee Resort, located at the south end of the lake, is one of the most popular ski and snowboard destinations in New Hampshire. The views of Lake Sunapee from the trails in Sun Bowl are spectacular. For more information about visiting our beautiful area, contact the Lake Sunapee Region Chamber of Commerce.
I just want to say hello and good morning. Welcome to our Lake Sunapee Region Chamber's annual meeting and awards ceremony. So we are absolutely thrilled to be here today. We always are. Our annual meeting is one of my favorite events of the year. We have, for our annual meeting today, you are going to hear from a few different folks, one of which is our outgoing president. You're going to hear from our incoming president. You'll hear from myself as your executive director. I am Ashley Rowley, for those who I have not introduced myself to this morning. Jenna, our marketing coordinator. And of course, maybe the most exciting speaker, our governor. Governor Aya is here this morning, so we're very excited about that. We're going to take a look back at 2025, and we're going to share some of our goals for the new year as well. We'll introduce our board of directors. The slate of officers is wonderful, so we'll be able to share that with you, and of course get our membership vote to approve those for the coming year. And then you will also get a first glimpse of our Lake Sunapee Region Chamber Guide cover art this year. So you guys will be the first ones to see it, which we're very excited to do and share with you. And then of course we wrap up our 5 annual award categories with our celebration of nominees as well as our award recipients this year. This year the board decided that we were going to take our annual meeting from an evening event and turn it into a morning event. Clearly they've never met me. That's not really my favorite time of day. I mean, if this could be a 10 p.m. event, I would be a much happier camper, but here we are. And we're kind of doing a little bit more, it's a little bit of 2 events in one. So our Chamber Ski Day has been something we've done here at the mountain for the past 3 years. So we're combining Chamber Ski Day with the annual meeting and awards. So after we're done here this morning, people will be able to hit the slopes. We have our first inaugural Chamber Ski Race, sponsored by Casella this year. So over here on the award table, you'll see a trophy for the fastest team, and then we have a couple medals for fastest woman down the slopes, and then the fastest man. So we'll do those a little bit later today. And then everyone who participates in Chamber Ski Day today will also receive a little bit of a buff to be, just because it's a little breezy out there, maybe. I'm not a skier, but when we talk about our annual meeting, we talk about a theme. We want to make sure there's some sort of overarching theme, and we tie in where we're hosting or who is helping to host our event. So here at Mount Sunapee Resort, this particular theme made a whole lot of sense. And then we take a look at our kind of goals. Are they ambitious? Are they lofty? And yes, our goals always seem to fall in that category. So peak performance was where we landed this year. I think it kind of is a perfect alliteration title for us to kind of roll with for this particular annual meeting. In the chamber industry, we always say that we cannot do what we do without amazing sponsorship. We are very lean and small funding organizations. To be able to have sponsors step up and assist us with all of the events we do over the course of the year is incredibly, incredibly important to what we do. So we want to take a second and talk about our sponsors. All right, so our top tier sponsors, we have, of course, Mount Sunapee being our host here this morning. Can we hear it for them? Let's a round of applause for Mount Sunapee. Thank you so much. We have our award ceremony sponsor, which is Eversource Energy. Thank you so much. And then, of course, we have Casella as our Chamber Day ski race sponsor as well. On your name tags, you will see, and on your table, your centerpieces, your flyers on your centerpieces, you'll see all of the sponsors for the event, but also on everyone's name tags, if they are an event sponsor, you'll see a little black badge. Please feel free to shake their hand, walk up to them, let them know that you appreciate them sponsoring this event and sponsoring all of our events over the course of the year. We have a lot of returning sponsors, event over event. And then our additional sponsors, we have North Cape Design Build as our Black Diamond sponsor. And then, Allison, look at, okay. And then we have Blue Square sponsors, Bar Harbor Bank and Trust, Dance Arts Academy, Sugar River Bank, Alley Oops Flowers and Gifts. And then our Green Circle sponsors, Colby Sawyer College, Center for the Arts, Morgan Hill Bookstore, and Culver Technologies. And last but certainly not least is from 3 to 4 p.m. today, we are doing an après-ski event. And our friends down at the Shanty are doing that. They're hosting us down there. So if you're able to attend from 3 to 4, they'll be covering appetizers, and we'd love to see you. From Chamber staff and Board of Directors, we'd love to do a little bit of extra mixing and mingling down there at the Shanty from 3 to 4. So to each and every one of our sponsors, thank you for this event, but all events that you're able to sponsor over the course of the year. And now, you hear a little less from me, a little more from someone else. We're going to bring in our outgoing board president, Katie Blake of Ledyard National Bank, to say a few words and to thank our outgoing board of directors.
On the way here this morning, knowing that she's not a fan of mornings, but she's just her normal peppy, happy self, and we are so lucky and appreciative to have her. As Ashley mentioned, I am the outgoing president. Definitely a bittersweet moment for me. I have been on the board for 7, I think, years. It's been a pleasure. I love serving this board, but I'm so excited for new opportunities for the group the incoming group that's coming. So I just wanted to say thank you to some board members that have completed their term. They are not here with us today, but I want to mention them anyway. Tiffany Perkins and Colleen DeAngelis. They stepped down this year, but they were instrumental in the success of this organization as well, and we were super happy to have them on the team. And I just want to thank Ashley. She and I have worked so closely together over the last several years, and this organization would not be able to do what it accomplishes without her efforts every day. So I would like to give Ashley a round of applause. And now I would like to introduce the incoming new president, Doug Daniels.
Thanks, Katie. Morning, everybody.
Morning.
My name is Doug Daniels, and I want to thank you for coming today. As incoming president, I thought I'd invite you all to kind of come to my house. I work here at Sunapee. I'm the senior manager of skier services. And before I jump too far in, I just want to introduce our general manager, Sue Donnelly, just to kind of welcome everybody, and who is our true host today.
Good morning. I just want to say thank you for the community and for Ashley and for the Chamber for having the event here today, and Doug being the new president. This is our 77th year skiing and riding here in the community, and we just want to keep that strong relationship, and just want to thank everybody, and I hope everybody has an amazing time today out there. And then we'll be at the Shanty so you guys can tell me about the conditions. Okay? So thank you so much.
Thanks, Sue. There's a Talking Head song that kind of goes, and you may ask yourself, right? How did I get here? Anybody? Talking Heads? Of course, Brett's like, yeah, man, of course. So I'm gonna share a little bit about myself, because I don't think a lot of you, I haven't had the opportunity to engage with a lot of you yet. I am starting my 3rd term with the Chamber, so I'm gonna just share some stuff here. I grew up in Ascutney, Vermont, across the river from Claremont, and my family enjoyed the Lake Sunapee region pretty much every summer growing up. Later, as a high schooler at Stevens in Claremont, the lake was synonymous with summer fun and living our best lives. I went to college, obviously. Well, not obviously, it's not obvious, but off I went to college. I went to Green Mountain College's School of Outdoor Recreation in Vermont. And I got a business degree in business education and marketing from their outdoor recreation school. After graduating, I dove right into the ski industry, head first, and never looked back. I've had the pleasure of working at a couple of different resorts, Okemo, Sugarbush, and Mount Snow in Vermont. Always enjoying the sense of community, of course, that seems to envelop you when you work in a ski area and in a ski town. Then came the opportunity to join the senior leadership team here at Mount Sunapee in August of 2020. Yeah, coming right out of COVID-19. Working in recreation at that time, coming out of COVID, was a very interesting situation in that everybody wanted to recreate, but nobody wanted to touch anybody else. So it was a very interesting time, challenging, and figuring out things on the fly. Working at a slightly smaller ski area, where skiing just isn't the only game in town. We coexist with an amazing lake community in the summers and a vibrant, artsy, quintessential college town in New London. Many different communities come together to form a larger system in this region, and that has such a strong draw for so many people to work, play, and live here, and has so much potential. It's that draw, or that magnetism, of all of our communities within the Chamber area combined that makes me so passionate about our future and all of our members working together. I try to connect with many of our guests here at Mount Sunapee, and I've devised this kind of continuum of tourism. Some people have heard this theory, some people not so much. But it's where when people first visit, take their first visit, whether it's a day of skiing or a day on the lake, or perhaps a day touring New London and some of the smaller communities or towns in the area, they get that first taste, right? And then they're like, oh, I'll go back for a long weekend. The hook is set. Then a week's vacation, which is kind of the gateway to the addiction for many. Then more visits, eventually a second home, and perhaps a full-fledged move to the region. Oftentimes we see that, especially at ski areas, or in my limited experience at ski areas, call it that, people come and visit and they get sort of hooked on the community that they're involved with part-time. And then they just want to do more and more. And then the final step is the tourist becomes a resident. They're fully hooked, right? Maybe they even open a new business, and they're so addicted to this place that they have changed the path of their life to live here. It's pretty powerful to make that decision. Now, how did I get here, standing in front of you as the president? A couple of things. When I first came to town, I was interested in getting involved with community and learning more about it when I moved here in 2020. And there was an opening on the board for the chamber. Mount Sunapee general manager at the time asked me if I'd be interested, and I was like, yeah, absolutely. I met with Ashley and then President Brett Cusick, and I served out that first term and accepted another term. And somewhere along the line, Katie, who had started her term as president, asked me if I would be vice president. Now, as a chamber member, did you know that in our bylaws, if you're vice president, you automatically become president? These are questions you want to ask. I did not. I found out later, and I was like, oh, okay. So when I realized I wasn't going to be able to get out of it, I did try, kind of. I was very nervous, but then I became kind of re-energized with how I might be able to affect the chamber's efforts for the next 3 years. So Brett and Katie left me a well-run chamber and with a great executive director in Ashley. It's kind of like, here's the keys, try not to screw it up too bad, right? So we are going to try and do some things. Ashley's going to talk about it. I just want to talk a little bit about member engagement, which is kind of the engine that drives the chamber, or really any group. So every November, the chamber board gets together and they hold a retreat for a day where we kind of lock ourselves in a room and try to become better as a board and better at representing you, our members. For the last 2 retreats, the number one thing that we have voted to work on is member engagement. We want to be better at representing our members, and for that to happen, we need to know what you need from us. As a recreation guy, you may find that as the chamber events kind of develop, there may be a little bit more gamification or fun spins, or I may ask for everything to be outside if Ashley will let me do that.
Or everything
but not early in the morning. I'm a morning person, unfortunately. We're going to have to figure that out. But one example is a conversation that we've had with members revolves around wanting the board to take a political position on certain agenda items or policy items. As an organization, we want to inform and educate our members about government policies and conversations that are happening that might affect our businesses and our communities. and what's going on in Concord and be able to represent and be a voice for our members. So I would say information and education over political agenda. Fully realizing that it may not always be an easy task. I'm sure Governor Ayotte may have some advice from you there. We have moved to join the Business and Industry Association of New Hampshire. The BIA is the unifying voice of business, championing a competitive business climate and a prosperous economic future for New Hampshire. As an added value to all of our chamber membership, each of our members will now have that access to the BIA as well. Moving the needle in a positive direction for our local business community is paramount to our collective success, and that starts with a better understanding of that community. Both Ashley and I will be downstairs in the Hearthstone room today, as well as I guess we'll be at après-ski, where hopefully you can engage with us in a more meaningful way and have a conversation. We want to hear from all types of businesses and all members. We can't engage with you without the you part. Very difficult. We can talk to ourselves and say, hey, we're doing a great job, but without our membership telling us what they need or want, it's extremely difficult. So that's it from me, and I would like to now introduce our keynote speaker for this year's annual meeting, New Hampshire Governor Kelly Ayotte.
Well, good morning, everyone. So I wish I had known there was a ski race today, so I might have changed my schedule, because that sounds like a lot of fun. And it's been such a great ski year, right? Like all the snow, it's been amazing for not only this mountain, but the mountains throughout New Hampshire. And we've been up, right? So it's such a positive to be here in Sunapee's 77th year. So Sue, I hope you're having a good year here. I like it. Really, I want to thank outgoing Chamber President Kate Blake, and incoming Chamber President Doug Daniels. Thank you for letting us know about your background. Very interesting, and it sounds like it's going to be a great year. I know that we also have one of our state representatives here. Representative Damon, I believe, is here. So, yeah, do I have more than one? Yeah, thank you for being here. And I want to thank all the sponsors who are here for making these events possible. And one of the things you do as governor is, in Concord every year you do what's called the State of the State. And so then afterwards you do smaller gatherings throughout the state, and there's many people, including Eversource, that sponsors these, but it's a great opportunity for me to talk to different business groups about you can't be there in Concord at the State of the State, but what's happening. And today I know you have an award ceremony, and that's really the premier event today. So I'm going to try to keep it a little shorter rather than having you guys glaze over after a whole State of the State. But I'm really glad to be here with you today. The perspective just from the state is, New Hampshire is doing very well. It's a great state, right? We've got a lot going for us. So when people ask me what's the state of the state of the state is strong. That doesn't mean we don't have challenges, but we do continue to lead the nation in a number of different ways. If you look at our rankings, whether it's number one on public safety or economic opportunity or child well-being, and we were just recently, Vermont had us on the best place to raise a family, but no more. We're now ranked number one on that. And then we're ranked the number 2 state in the nation next to Utah, but we're coming for Utah, trust me. So there's a lot of great things that are happening in New Hampshire when we look at where we stand nationally. But over the last year in your state legislature, I just want to highlight some of the things that we were able to get done, and then talk about some of the things that are challenges that we hope to address going forward. First thing for me was we got the cell phones out of the schools and the classrooms. We took on the housing crisis. It was a very productive legislative session that was very bipartisan to pass over a dozen pieces of legislation on housing, which I'll talk about further. We also were able to change the bail reform laws, that there had been some changes made that were resulting, unfortunately, in a revolving door situation of some dangerous people staying on our streets. We balanced the budget, and then the focus for me was also making sure that we protect our most vulnerable citizens while doing that. Things like funding the developmental disability wait list to make sure we didn't have a wait list, and making sure we protect our Medicaid eligibility, which is actually among the highest in New England, and it's important for families to access that. And something that is farther north to all of you, but is important to me as well, our Connecticut Lakes Headwater forest. It's actually the largest tract of land in New Hampshire, and we were able to come to an agreement with the landowners. The state has an easement on it to protect access to that land, but then also there's a timber harvesting industry that relies on that in the North Country. So we were able to come up to a good agreement that I think is very good for the North Country. In doing all of that, we maintained our New Hampshire advantage. One of the things I see all the time as governor, our tax climate is very different than our neighbors. That New Hampshire advantage of no income tax, no sales tax, no estate taxes, it really puts us in a strong position when I'm talking to businesses that want to come to New Hampshire. And there are many that are looking at that, that I talk to all the time, that are, whether coming over the border from Vermont or Massachusetts, looking for our quality of life, but then also looking for a very positive tax climate for their businesses and also for their employees. So that has been a focus and will always continue to be a focus of mine, to maintain our competitive advantage. And if you look at us in the region, we are growing in population, which is a positive thing for us because we do need to grow to do well. The other thing that, as we look at where we are, all the positives that we just talked about, I want to talk about some of our challenges and opportunities. I wake up every morning as governor, and this is the thing I always say to myself: challenges and opportunities, because your job as governor, really, I like to call myself problem solver in chief. That's really my job, but also looking for opportunities for our great state. I mean, I grew up here. I love New Hampshire. I grew up skiing, so this area is certainly near and dear to my heart. I'm still a skier, but one of the great things about this state is we have it all. Not only do we have a great economic climate, a great place to raise a family, but we also have such a beautiful, beautiful natural beauty state, and all of it matters. And I feel very blessed to have the opportunity to focus on this state and to be part of working with all of you to make it better. And I should say that the reason that we're as good as we are is because of everyone in this room, right? It's always about the people. It's always about the small businesses, the individuals that make the nonprofits that make our state, what it is. It's the quality of life, the people that are willing to get engaged in their communities. And that's what happens at the Chamber of Commerce. It's what happens in our local nonprofits. So I thank you for everything that you do to make us better. So some of the things I wanted to talk about today is an opportunity as we think about travel and tourism, as Doug mentioned. We have a new head of business and economic affairs. I hope she'll have an opportunity to meet with this chamber. She's going to be meeting with all the chambers. Her name is Lucy Lang. She comes from the outside, but she has a tremendous marketing background and business background, and she's very excited to partner with all of you about how we can be even better at promoting New Hampshire, not just the travel and tourism dollars, which I'm a huge supporter of, but how can we align everything that we have in the state? Because promoting our state is really aligning workforce with housing and childcare to make this the most advantageous environment for businesses to start and grow and for individuals to live a great life. So I hope that Lucy will get around and meet all of you. But one of the things I'm asking her to do is to look at what we're doing and how do we better align it with what is happening at the local chamber level, what's happening at the BIA. And right now in state government, it's a little bit disparate of where we're doing all these things. And we need to be better of aligning them all with the private sector. So that's going to be a big task that she's taking on. Last year, as I mentioned, was, I would say, one of the most ambitious years when it comes to what I view as our biggest economic challenge in the state, and that is housing. In the legislature, both sides of the aisle working together, there were a number of laws that were passed that will help, I hope, speed up construction. including our state permitting system. We went to a 60-day process where we leaned out the process. Those of you in the manufacturing and business sector will appreciate. We tried to make it where it was 4 agencies, now there's 2 agencies. All the environmental reviews are still in place, so that was not shortcutted, but really looking at a more efficient way to do this in a 60-day process. That was something we were able to do. In addition to that, we were able to cut some other red tape that was standing in the way of building. We've improved to help the financing of the energy efficiency projects to improve a program called the Pacer program, which will hopefully allow better financing for energy efficiency parts of projects. And then we expanded ADUs, so accessory dwelling units. There's one you can have as a matter of right, people here in New Hampshire, and hopefully that'll help families stay together, whether it's on the children end, the elderly end, just to allow more opportunities to keep people together. And then finally, what goes into effect in July is, if you think about post-COVID, we had a lot of office space throughout the state. People just downsized their office space. They figured out that there's going to be some level of remote work, probably almost in most professions. And so we have some office space that's sitting there, or commercial property that's just sitting there. And so in July, making it easy to convert that commercial property to housing. So I do think, I already know of projects in the state that are going to happen with significant levels of housing from that bill, so I'm excited about that. We got an early look of where we are on housing. We need to do so much more, but the Bureau of Economic Affairs did release a housing production data for the past year, and it was the highest total in 20 years. So it's a good start. I'm very cognizant that we have so much more need, and we're going to continue to work on this issue, and we need to think creatively as a state, both at the state level and at the local level, because the local voice on housing is obviously very important in New Hampshire, but locally people have a voice of what housing, and I hope we can partner on these things, recognizing that every community grows when we have more housing. We're looking at the state level, we own a lot of land, right? So we're looking at the land that we own as a state and say, okay, do we need it? And is it its highest and best purpose? So if there are tracts that naturally might fit where the way it works in the state is, if we sell property, the local community has opportunity, a right of first refusal, and then it would go out. But we're also looking, are there possibilities of land we could lease for housing purposes? So just to think creatively about what we own and what makes sense for it if we could expand housing. Areas of workforce, as we think about aligning workforce, our university and college system are very, very important to that. And as we think about our community college system throughout the state, we're ranked actually in the top 10 in the nation. We have an excellent community college system. They've done a very good job of partnering with local businesses in particular areas, like whether it's manufacturing, whether it is healthcare, whether it is in automotive, we can name it the trades. But this is something we need to continue to expand. And also in our high schools, dual and concurrent enrollment. So we have kids in school right now who are in this program where they can get college credit now. And a number of those kids are in like the AP type classes. That's great. I'm all for that. But I want to expand it even more, especially to the trades and other areas where you can get credit, certification, all those areas where we have gaps, so that it's broadly available to students and not just one set of students. So that's something that we need to do, I think, better and more on. Looking ahead, we also need to continue to make sure you can transfer credits easily between our community college system and our university system and among the community colleges, because that makes it more affordable. It keeps people in New Hampshire. And the programs, if I get an associate at a community college, I want to take all those credits and be able to go to UNH and finish up. And then I just had a great meeting yesterday. We're continuing to look at our university system and how do we make sure overall in New England there's declining enrollment, okay, in all of our colleges. and making sure, though, that our university system, that as not only just in Durham, but also looking at Plymouth and Keene, that we're aligning with the private sector and workforce. So where are the workforce needs today, so that that goes directly, if I'm a young person in New Hampshire, or perhaps recredentialing, going back, that I can go to whether it's Keene, Plymouth, or Durham and know that this is directly a degree that's relevant. And also we want to expand, like Northeastern does, co-ops, apprenticeships, to make our university system strong, but it also helps our workforce development. So that is something that we need to work more on, and I look forward to working on. The other issue that goes hand in hand with housing is childcare. And childcare is so important, to allow families to keep working and, to be able to have good childcare. And childcare costs too much. The rising cost of childcare has a very big impact on families. So in the last budget, one of the things we focused on, there is what's called a childcare scholarship, and there was expanded eligibility for that, and maintaining that eligibility is top on my list, and we're going to do that, and I hope we can look in the future to even expand it further. And, I look at what's happening in the nonprofit sector, and Chris Emond, who's here from the Boys and Girls Club. The Boys and Girls Club's done a great job of nonprofits expanding childcare, but also the YMCA is doing that. So we need to think creatively. Nonprofits, where does it make sense? We can expand childcare, making it easier to do that. And then right now, going through the legislature, which I'm hopeful will pass, is also a tax credit for businesses that will co-locate childcare with their business, so that we can encourage more businesses to also, when they are expanding, whether they're existing business or whether they're building, that they're actually co-locating childcare with businesses. So that's another area that we are looking at that I'm hopeful is going to pass. It's pending right now. Thinking about our quality of life, some of the areas, my prior background, I was an attorney general. So, that's sort of where I started my career. But before that, I was a prosecutor. So just making sure we're ranked the safest state in the nation. And we were able to do some things over the last legislative session that I think keep us in that position. Number one, backing our first responders. We had a gap, hard to recruit people there, but making sure their retirement and pay is in a good place, that's important. Working together to help, as I mentioned, the bail issue, to address that. We've had some good success with that, of just making sure that our bail law protects the public, and we were able to get important laws passed on that. Increased protections for crime victims, increased penalties for human trafficking. Those were areas we've wished on. And also establishing a domestic violence fatality review. We've had a number of high-profile cases. I know this from having been a murder prosecutor myself. Unfortunately, every year, usually the number one cause of when someone is murdered is a domestic violence-related situation. So we've established a fatality committee to review what has happened in these cases, so that we can learn from them and try to prevent them in the future, which I look forward to seeing their results. We had a very high-profile case up in Berlin, which was horrible. That's the first case that Marisol Fuentes, who was killed in a domestic violence situation, and that's the first case that it's looking at, and I look forward to seeing their recommendations. The other issue on public safety that is pending right now is, as good as we are on public safety, we are the highest, not the highest, but among the highest in the nation on our refusal rate when people are driving intoxicated on our roads. And the reason for that is that essentially refusing, there's no added penalty for it. So there's a piece of legislation going through the legislature right now that was recommended by my Highway Safety Task Force that is going to address that issue when it comes to taking the breath alcohol test. And I got to tell you, I've met so many families, mothers, sisters, brothers, that have lost someone here in New Hampshire because of that issue, where people are repeat offenders, but yet they keep getting back on our roads. So I do hope the legislature, it's already passed the Senate, but I hope the House addresses this issue too, so we can just be in a stronger position to protect the driving public. So one issue that I wanted to mention just briefly, there's a lot to talk about, but I'm going to cut it down because I know you've got award recipients to obviously recognize really importantly today. That is an area that we need to just do better on, and that's energy. Our energy costs are very high. The region costs are high, and New Hampshire is doing a little better than the region, but let's face it, I know the mountain would understand that, and any business in the room and any individual, that our energy costs are too high. So what we're looking at, the areas where I hope we can help this issue, number one, we need to expand energy access of all forms in New Hampshire and look at that. That is so important. We need a Public Utilities Commission that is focused on ratepayers. And some of the decisions that have come out of the Public Utilities Commission more recently, I don't think are focused on ratepayers the way they should be or as transparent as they should be. I just nominated someone new who was confirmed to be the chairman of the PUC. And my number one marching order is focus on ratepayers and focus on transparency for the people of this state. We've got to do it. Also, if we look at our grid, it's run by what's called ISO New England. And I just called upon them recently. They changed the way they calculate transmission costs, and it really has not gone well. So there was a report done that shows that if they go back to the way they used to look at calculating transmission costs, we could save $1 billion for ratepayers in New England. So that's something that I'm pushing ISO New England to do. I think they will do this, but this is something that all of those transmission costs, they get passed along, right? So these are other areas where we look, how do we reduce costs? And then how do we expand new opportunities? And one of the new opportunities I see down the road that is really small modular nuclear reactors. The new technology in nuclear that are much smaller reactors with a much smaller amount of material and a different safety profile. But that's an area where we want to be on the forefront of it. So I've asked our Department of Energy to bring all the stakeholders today to say, how can we position New Hampshire to be an early adopter of this? Because it protects the environment, it's carbon free, and we could produce our own energy. So there's an opportunity. I hope that we can make sure New Hampshire's on the forefront of new technologies too. I'm going to touch on two other issues, and then I know you want to get to what you're doing. Of course, when we think about our quality of life, education, healthcare, and it starts obviously with our kids. My husband is a math teacher, so I hear a lot at home about where we are with our kids, and we have a lot to be proud of in our state. We're consistently ranked, our schools among the top 10 in the nation. We are actually 7th in the nation in funding per student. So there is a lot to be proud of, and we need to maintain that and build it. But there's areas where we're not doing as well. Math scores, reading scores. It's not just a New Hampshire issue, it's a national issue. So I've asked our Commissioner of the Department of Education to look at best practices in not only in the state, some schools in the state are performing much better than others. What are those practices that are working in those schools, but also what are practices that are working nationally that we could implement here to really laser focus on reading and mathematics? And I've got a first gentleman who is very passionate about mathematics, so I hope we can do both. But that's an area where we need to continue to focus and I think do better. Special education, over the last budget, we actually made the largest investment we've made in special education, but how can we improve delivery of those services as well? So important that every child, whatever disability they have, has the opportunity to participate and to reach his or her full potential. And let me just say this, we're as good as we are because of the teachers and everyone who works in the schools. So if that's what you do, please, thank you. It's hard work. And we're really appreciative of the work done by our teachers and everyone who works in our schools. Which brings me to getting the cell phones out of the schools. it's been a very positive thing for New Hampshire. We have a bell-to-bell prohibition, and I've visited schools where this has happened, and the teachers are telling me, even those that were skeptical, that the lunchroom's louder, the cyberbullying is down, and the classroom focus is better. So that was something we could do immediately that I think is having a positive impact in our school, and we'll continue to see that impact. Let's face it, we could all use a break sometimes between the screens, the Snapchat, the TikTok, the Instagram. So I don't know about how you feel about this, but I often find myself at home with my teenager trying to model good behavior, and I have my own issues with it. But hopefully we can all take a break from it sometimes, and especially in our classrooms. One final area that I'd like to just mention briefly, just healthcare, very important. I mentioned, as we think about our healthcare here in New Hampshire, it's very critical that we have those programs to protect our most vulnerable citizens, protecting our Medicaid eligibility, which we've done, but also our community mental health centers. I dare say that if I asked everyone in this room right now, have you had yourself or someone you know an issue with mental health? I think we'd all raise our hands in some way, right? So that is a quality of life issue for us. The front lines of our mental health system are our community mental health centers. And in our budget, we gave them some additional resources for their uncompensated care, but they do critical work. So one of the things that New Hampshire has just been a recipient of that we're proud of is called the Rural Health Transformation Grant. It's a national grant that came from Washington, and New Hampshire actually has received the most money of any state in New England to help make sure that in rural areas throughout our state, no matter where you are in New Hampshire, that you can have access to good health care. But I mentioned our community mental health centers because Executive Counselor Hill isn't here today, but I want to thank her for her support, because on the Governor and Council agenda Wednesday, part of our Rural Health Transformation Grant will be a contract that's going to help us make our community mental health centers more sustainable and support them. So that's important. Also, with this Rural Health Transformation Grant, we're going to be looking at expanding telehealth. We're going to be looking at workforce development through our community colleges and our university system and our healthcare workforce. And in addition to that, how do we sustain our critical access hospitals that are in the most rural areas of our state and our federally qualified health centers that, if you look throughout our state, deliver such important care to the people of New Hampshire, whether it's women's preventative care or whether it's just general preventative care, chronic diseases, such important work. So this is an opportunity for New Hampshire with this Rural Health Transformation Grant, and this area is certainly included in it. Councilor Hill will tell you that. So there may be things that you see coming out of Concord on this, that as a business, if you're in this area, look for the RFPs. It's going to be on our website. It's called Go North, and it's going to be on the website, but the Executive Council will be on their website. So I wanted to make you all aware of that. We have an opportunity here, but there's a lot of work to do. I'm excited about it, but I hope to improve our healthcare system with that grant. So there's many more topics I could talk about, but I don't want to get in the way of ski racing, skiing, or especially recognizing the nominees of your awards today. I want to congratulate each and every one of you for what you're doing in your community. Whether you receive an award or not, you're making a tremendous difference. And I look forward to coming back where we can even, have more discussion and answer your questions, but I know we got a tight time today, and I'm here to serve you. It's a real privilege to serve this state. We have such a great state, and I thank you for the opportunity to be here today.
All right, it's back to me. Wah, wah. Thank you so much, Governor. We appreciate you being here today, and we appreciate all that you do for the small business community, and we appreciate the fact that even though, we're a smallish chamber, I usually try to say that, we are not our Concord, our Manchester, our Nashua chamber. We do have over 250 members, and they're all small to medium-sized businesses and nonprofits, and that's really, really big impact. So thank you for appreciating that. right, and so a few things that I'd like to talk about before we really break into that award ceremony. So we want to take some time to acknowledge all that 2025 has brought to us at the Chamber. It was really a year, in my opinion, of building our foundation, making it stronger, and then turning around and making sure that we're continuing offering the same supports and resources to our members that we've had year over year. Consistency, I think, is incredibly important. People rely on Chambers for exactly that, right? We're consistent. We are kind of the anchors of those communities, and we don't take that lightly. We make sure that we are here for our members as you need us, when you need us, and that goes for every chamber across the country, but especially here in New Hampshire. We want to take the time. I'm not going to go through all of these guys. I know you're panicked. You looked at that and like, whoa, Ashley, what's happening here? But just some quick overview of accomplishments here. We do our annual awards ceremony has normally been in January, so we do our annual awards. We were able to be at the Black Box Theater at Colby Sawyer last year, and this year we're able to be here. So we're just as happy because those are huge supporters of the Chamber work, the college and the mountain here. So kind of in tandem, we're making sure that we're able to connect with both of those entities. And then we have coffee and conversations, those networking opportunities for folks. National Chamber of Commerce Day promotions with our neighbor chambers. We have a great connection with our neighboring chambers. Shannon is here. I'm sure I see her. She's at her own little table. Look at that. But so we have really great connections with our local chambers, and we have this really visceral feeling that we are stronger together. So you'll see us do a lot together, and that's on purpose. That's why we do what we do, is because we do feel as though we can have a bigger impact when we work together. You'll see New Hampshire Travel Council Partnership. We're still working with that board of directors. We do Granite State Ambassador Center area trainings. We have our normal productive board of directors fall retreat, which is really where a lot of the energy comes for the coming year. We are down at the Big E for a week in September. It's a long, long day, but we have that opportunity to promote tourism for our region specifically to the millions of people that we see down at the fair every year. Our annual events, things like hospital days. We did our Festival of Trees. We also helped this year with, where's Barry? Where's Barry? He's in the back. We held Center for the Arts, and we were very excited to partner with them for the first New Year's New London event, which was a wild success. And then there's planning and works for this coming season as well. And then we have things like the League of New Hampshire Craftsmen's Fair, which happens here at the mountain. We always do our information booth so that the folks who come to explore the mountain and explore that particular event, they're able to kind of broaden their horizons, right? They're able to go to different restaurants, go to different communities that surround this area, and really kind of expand what they know about the Lake Sunapee region. Lunch and Learns at the Chamber office. This year, Mascoma Bank has stepped up to sponsor our Lunch and Learn program, so we're very thankful to Mascoma Bank for doing that. So you'll see those Lunch and Learns throughout the course of the year. We have, we always partner as often as we can, and we do a lot of information sharing with the Department of Travel and Tourism through the state. So we're able to attend their events. We're able to bring their information and their promotions and opportunities to our members as well, which kind of amplifies that message. And then, of course, I've been doing the Institute for Organizational Management program through the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. I just finished in January my third year, my junior year. I'm going to graduate in this coming January, everybody. So, as exciting as that is, it's one of those things. I joke about this a lot, but I celebrated 7 years here at the Chamber in February, and I have this weird, very dorky, almost nerdy love for this work, and I get so excited about all of the incredible things that we could really do. It's just time, right? It's time, it's energy, it's money, it's all of the things that kind of pull us back a little bit from some of those, but have no fear. It's going to take time, but we'll get there. But this particular organization really helps me kind of relight that fire every single year. Every single January, I'm able to come back with adding to my project box, right? Everyone hears me talk about my project box in the back hallway, and it's just literally anything and everything that I kind of come up with, I put in that box. We had our most successful Holiday Shop Local promotion with our neighboring chambers. We had about $309,000 tracked this year of Holiday Shop Local cards punched. This year, and we kind of talked a little bit about it. I don't think we're going to have an issue. We're going to surpass $500,000. I know we are. It's going to be incredible. And it's just because we know that message is what we all know it, right? But it's just a matter of making sure that it's repeated, that it's consistent, that it's always in the back of people's minds, because our small businesses really are the backbone, especially of this area. Every year we help plan and attend the New Hampshire ACE Conference in the springtime. Last year was in Wolfboro. This this year is in Portsmouth, and actually Commissioner Lang is going to be there for this particular event. So she'll be able to connect for the first time with all the chambers and all the directors from across New Hampshire. So that'll be our first opportunity to make that connection and kind of, tie some of that together. We really enjoy being a part of the Sunapee Farmers Market Committee. It's such an incredible economic boost and driver to the region throughout Memorial Day to Labor Day. If you haven't been, you're wildly missing out. Our Member Clicks is our software program, so we continue those trainings, we continue those kinds of things, not only for our membership, but also for staff, for Jenna and myself. And then, of course, our Chamber Ski Day, we had that last year as well. And then annual Black Fly golf tournament, guys, is coming up. Who's ready? Who's got their golf clubs? No one. Great. Perfect. Excellent. I love to hear it. Lori, you're ready to go. So we're excited for that. That is actually, we're planning that now. So that's going to happen in May at the Lake Sunapee Country Club. And then, of course, our Taste of the Lake Sunapee region is an opportunity to bring all of our restaurant, caterers, bakeries, all of those folks together and kind of give them an anchor event for them in that kind of industry. And then people can come out and explore. And it's a little bit of a date night vibe, which is kind of nice. That was your ooh and ah moment. Ooh. And then, of course, I think our biggest accomplishment from 2025, and Jenna's going to talk a little bit more about this, was our regional guide. This was a project that for about 20 years or longer was an outside project, and this was a first opportunity for us to take it as an in-house project. Mind you, we were very much aware it was going to be a very large undertaking, but bringing Jenna on board with her marketing and her background we were able to knock that out of the park. So you'll see those on your tables. Please take them. We have so many. It's just an awesome resource, and I think that the more that you take that and you spread it around, the more people know about our region. And you're going to get a little bit of a little hint for this coming season's cover art, which is exciting. So again, this is just a snapshot, right, of all of the things that we have going on, but it gives you an idea of all of the work that we've done for our members and for the organization and for the region over the past year. So that leads us to 2026. So when we take a look at the previous year and at our annual meeting take a look at the coming year, we kind of get that energy again, right? We get that energy rebuild, we get that energy boost. So again, not going to go over all, but I do have some highlighted. Of course, one of them is going to be the Lake Sunapee Region Guide again. However, this year we're going to actually lean a little bit more into the digital version. So we're going to actually do we have it now digitally, which is great, but it's just a standard PDF. We're going to lead into a software program that will be able to help us track all of the data, all the click-throughs, how long people stay on pages, how many pages they actually go through before they exit the software. So there's a lot of different analytics that we'll be able to track with that, which will help our members, and it will help in terms of click-throughs for your businesses and your organizations. So we're very excited to see what that looks like for this coming season. We're still working on creating that Chamber Foundation 501c3, which will lead into our educational leadership program, which we're going to be calling Elevate. We're very excited about that. That has been something in the back of my head for a few years, and it's really honestly a missing piece to what we offer here in the region. And it's something that, the Upper Valley has, Concord has. We're kind of filling that gap, and we've been talking about it for a while, and we're gonna do that and make that happen. As Doug had mentioned, building our Government Affairs Committee, and we'd love to be able to hold a legislative breakfast, which of course we would love to welcome anyone from the state to come and enjoy that with us. It's something that we've talked about as a board, kind of putting that as at the forefront of our plans and our to-dos for the coming season. So stay tuned for some information regarding that. Reintroduce our member-to-member perks program. Something else that Doug had mentioned was really making sure that business-to-business is happening. Sometimes we kind of silo, right? As business owners, as people in our own organizations, we forget a little bit of how important it is to shake hands with your neighbor and to have those conversations and build those relationships. So we want to make sure that in the coming year, we're really putting a bigger and more aggressive focus on that business-to-business, that member-to-member engagement. Bring back the weekend wave. So some people said to me, I thought my weekend wave videos, they're 5-minute videos, everybody. It's not hard. And some people were like, Ashley, where are your weekend wave videos? I was like, you actually watch those? And they said, yes, I actually love listening to them. So I'm gonna bring back the weekend wave videos. They're just a 5-minute update. What's going on with the chamber? What's kind of coming up for the weekend? I enjoy doing them, and Jenna would have to remind me sometimes because I would get so buried in work, I'd forget about it. But it's super simple to do and an easy thing to reach those members in a different way. And that's always what I'm trying to do. You guys get so many emails, not only from me, but from just general life, that sometimes things fall through the cracks. So if you get a link to a video, or you get this or an image or just a simple graphic, it's a lot more impactful, and you're actually going to be able to respond to that much better than a lengthy wordy email. Make a significant profit on our annual Black Fly Open to offset operational costs. We have a few tricks up our sleeve this year for the Black Fly, which might be a little bit different, but we've been doing this tournament for over 30 years, and maybe it's time to mix things up a little bit. So we have some ideas and some exciting things in the works for this year, but we'd love to see teams kind of coming out of the woodwork that we haven't seen in a little bit come back to the event this year. We'd love to have a record year for our Young Professionals Network. So Jenna has done a lot of work. Allison as well has done a lot of work with our Young Professionals group. We are here. They are here. We have them. We have to find better ways of connecting. And I think that if we put a little bit more focus at a board level and a chamber level of supporting that kind of demographic in our area, that we're going to see a lot more return on that investment. So I think that's something we're going to focus on in the new year, is making sure that they have a little bit of funding, a little bit of support for events that they're having, and a little bit more focus on recruitment as well for that particular organization. And then, of course, our Small Business Saturday, which I had mentioned earlier, having that be a goal of $500,000. So everything that we're trying to do, we need to make sure that it is impactful, it is conscientious, and it has long-lasting improvements on our community. Some goals may take a little bit more time. I'm not a patient person, and I'm an idea person. I'm like, woo, let's go do this, and this, and everyone's like, but that's going to take some money, and that's going to take some time, Ashley. So sometimes I have to be brought back down from my clouds, but I do love this work, and I love being able to do what I can to meet everyone where they're at. So as part of our annual meeting, we do have a presented slate of officers for our new board of directors, and as our membership here, you do get to take a moment to approve them. So let's see who's on the roster this year. Once I say your name, if you could stand, that would be wonderful. So I present to you your 2026 slate of officers for the Lake Sunapee Region Chamber of Commerce. Doug Daniels, Mount Sunapee Resort, our president. Annie Beck, North Cape Design, who will be our treasurer. Allison Traeger, the Town of Sunapee, secretary. Tom Robb of Benjamin F. Edwards. Kristen Judge, most recently of Hoptimistic Brewing. Jason Bell of the O'Halloran Group. Tanya Frost of the Boys and Girls Club. Amy Drummond of New London Hospital. Julia Johnson of Colby Sawyer College. Francisco Lopez Jr. is not here today, but he is the chef at Elms and Oak and Grain in New London. Michelle Hale, Morgan Hill Bookstore. And Jay Brazo of the Newbury Deli. So here's the fun part. You guys get to interact. We need a vote from our membership to approve this amazing slate of directors. Can I hear a motion? Nice. And a second? All right, I hear it. We're good. All in favor? Aye. All right, we can put hands in the air. We can whoop, whoop. Yes, all right. Excellent. Thank you so much. What we try to do with our board of directors is really kind of touch upon all of the different industries that we serve. So you'll see retailers, you'll see larger employers, you'll see attractions, you'll see restaurants, you'll see caterers, you'll see all of those kinds of people, because we really want to make sure that we're reaching all of those entities. So thank you to our board. I'm looking forward to the year to come. I think you all have a lot of energy and a lot of great ideas. So we'll see what crazy things you make me do this year. Okay, now I'd like to bring in Jenna McCarthy, who is our Chamber Marketing Coordinator, to discuss all things Regional Guide.
Good morning. So this is our guide from last year, or current this year still actually, and it's going to stay the same size. I'm not changing too much, but some things will get demolished and rebuilt back up again as we, like Ashley said, take this new project on. This is year 2, so some things are going to be worked out and some things are going to stay the same. People kind of like change, they don't really like change, but we're gonna keep moving forward with it. Inside, like I said, inside format, some things are gonna, instead of double pages, they'll just be single pages. Some things are gonna be spread out, like our member directory. We're gonna reconstruct that and go from there and kind of upgrade that from feedback. And now you guys get to see the first edition of the cover, or the sneak peek of the cover for this upcoming year. I partnered with Garrett Evans again this year, who's a local photographer based out of Sutton, for our front cover. He did this lovely image last year. So we had kind of hit the mountains, so now we're going to hit the lakes. And our front cover is going to be...
I feel like there's a drum roll moment. Yes, love it.
So this is going to be the new cover of the regional guide for this year. So like I said, we went from mountains to lakes. Again, with that partner, you can see that QR code will bring you right to his website. He has amazing photography, amazing work from all over the state and from our lovely region of all 11 towns. So it's kind of cool to be partnering with locals and continue on that tradition. Continuing to involve the community this year. I really want to continue that aspect. So if there's any images from around the area, feel free to send them my way. Send them to that QR code. It brings it right to my email, and you could eventually just see your photo in the next year's guide, which is kind of cool, again, to include the community, which was a big part of what I wanted to do going forward with this. That's my little spiel, but I'm excited to bring back the guide at an improved idea.
All right. And now we're moving on to our presentation of our annual community awards. So the way that this works is our nominations are accepted from the community and from general public for about 2 months. We usually launch it in November, and it usually works all the way through till like beginning of January. We had a little bit of extra time this year just because we moved our annual meeting from January to March. And then once those nominations are in, they are brought to the board of directors for an official vote. The nominees and the winners are notified. All content that you hear from the presentation today are actually pulled directly from their nomination forms. So it might sound a little bit choppy, but it's just because these are words from the community who decided to nominate these individuals in these categories. So we present 5 awards. Rookie Business of the Year, which is generally a business locally that's been open for about 5 years or less. A Young Professional of the Year, a Nonprofit of the Year, Community Member of the Year, and a Business of the Year. We accept nominations for that window of time in all of those categories. This year we had about 42 nominations, which is great. We did have one year where we had 75, so get ready because we need to amplify that for next year. But it's still a fantastic display of all of the incredible work that is done in our area. Once you see the nominees, you'll sort of kind of get that vibe, you'll feel that energy. It's just an incredible group of people this year. On your name badges, you'll see a sticker that says if you're an award nominee, and then you'll also see a sticker for those who are award winners. So you can kind of, as we mix and mingle at the end here, you can kind of talk to those individuals who are winners and nominees in those categories. And then, of course, after announcing the category winner, representatives who are here for that business or organization, please make your way to the front so we can do a group photo. What I'm going to do is I'd like to bring up Board President Doug Daniels to assist with the first award.
Rookie Business of the Year. And the nominees are Mountainside Golf Outfitters, Birchmere Collective, Sunapee Cellar and Pantry, Hoptimistic Brewing, Timeless Medical Aesthetics and Wellness. And the winner is Hoptimistic Brewing. Hoptimistic has become a true gathering place in the Lake Sunapee region. Especially during the slower winter months, they bring people together through welcoming staff, fun events, and a warm, inclusive atmosphere that strengthens community and gives locals a place to connect. Bringing new life to the Sunapee Harbor, Optimistic Brewing has helped bring the community together by offering a fun and safe space for families to hang out all year round, rain, snow, or shine. Their emphasis on encouraging community engagement by partnering and promoting other local businesses has helped the harbor grow. Additionally, Optimistic continues to donate to charities bringing awareness to community-led causes and sources local goods whenever possible. Dan has done an amazing job of creating not only a great place to socialize, but a wonderful culture and a commitment to giving back to the community. The guest bartender event and creation of a custom specialty beer was amazing for the Duck Drop this year and has been partnering with lots of local organizations and making an impact. This business has helped to breathe new life into the harbor by actively engaging and working together with other harbor businesses. Tourists and locals alike appreciate the warm, welcoming atmosphere. They have partnered with local restaurants to provide food. What a collaboration. This place has such a chill vibe, live music, karaoke, fun events, outside seating, good food, and great service.
Optimistic Brewing.
All right, we need you in the photo. Governor, would you like All right, Jen's going to be right over here. So we're moving on to our second award, our Young Professional of the Year. So this young professional is a very vague term, right, folks? Everyone's like, oh, I'm not a young professional anymore. We're all young. Like, what? Who's putting, who's putting rules on that? But it's usually about 40 years old and under. I'm creeping up there, guys. I'm almost there. But we have nominees in this category. We have 4 of them. Emily Gambino of Alley Oops, the sweetest person ever. She's not here today, but I forgot her flowers. Can you give Optimistic flowers, please? Alley Oops did provide flowers for the award winners. They could not be here today, but they did want to contribute, so that goes there. Jenna McCarthy of the Chamber and of the Lake Sunapee Region Young Professionals Group. Ben Cody of the Tracy Memorial Library. Where is he? He's in the back somewhere. And Allison Traeger of the Town of Sunapee and of the YPN Group. The winner this year of our Young Professional of the Year is... Hey, it's Jenna! Guys, I tried so hard to not tell her. The only time was the name badge. I think she knows from the name badge. I tried, but... I know, sorry. Okay. Jenna's been such a fresh addition to our chamber team, creating the new regional guide from scratch, which is a widely utilized resource around the state, helping facilitate ribbon cuttings, business after hour events, lunch and learns, coffee and conversations, etc. She's been one of the motivating forces behind the relaunch of our Lake Sunapee Region Young Professionals Group. She loves this area and is committed to making it a great place to live, work, and play for all ages, but especially for those in their 20s and 30s. We're all extremely proud of the work that she has done, and we know that she has so much more she's going to be giving to this community. Jen is a local community member that knows the heartbeat of the area. She has been a staple at so many community events and activities. Her presence for the youth in the area shows that you can be here, you can leave for school, and then you can always come back to where you came from, and you can make a positive and lasting change with where you came from. So we're excited that Jenna is here at the Chamber, but even more exciting because I knew her when she was so little. But congratulations, Jenna. Our nonprofit of the year. So we have 4 nominees in this category as well. We have New London Hospital, the Library Arts Center, the Boys and Girls Club of the Kearsarge Sunapee Region, and Kearsarge Youth Hockey. All right, and then our nominees from our nominees. Our winner is the Boys and Girls Club of the Kearsarge Sunapee Region. While the Boys and Girls Club is a well-known entity and organization nationwide since 1860, we have seen such a larger presence in the Lake Sunapee region over the past few years. This organization has an incredibly supportive mission and vision that elevates youth all across the state, but we are seeing the impact right here in the region. From their various before-school and after-school programs and leadership opportunities within the organization, it's clear that their outreach touches so many lives. From Sutton, Warner, New London, Newport, Andover, the number of families that are able to breathe a sigh of relief knowing that their kids are taken care of and in a safe space is truly remarkable. Childcare is one of the most challenging issues facing New Hampshire. There is a gap of over 9,000 kids needing a place to go and not having that resource. While the Boys and Girls Club may not be able to reach all 9,000 kids, they will certainly keep working at closing that gap. Congratulations to the team at the Boys and Girls Club, Kearsarge Sunapee Region. We're going to move into Community Member of the Year. So we have 6 nominees in this category. Jean Connolly of Center for the Arts, Phil Oman of New London Hospital, Kathy Lowe Block of Kathy Lowe Music, the Fenton family of Sunapee Bradford, Shandy Elliott Knowlton of Golden Cross Ambulance, and Kelly Pickett of the Outing Club. All right, and our community member of the year goes to the Fenton family. Now, as they make their way to the front, I'm sure you're like, oh, it's repeat. It's Tim. I got you. Okay, I know. So I cried a little bit when I was putting this slide together. I'm gonna get emotional. Okay. So there is not enough time in the day or enough words to say to express the dedication of this one family has towards the community. Guys, someone else might have to read this. I just get really emotional about these things. The Fenton family and their locally owned businesses have been involved with nearly every event, program, or activity in more than 8 surrounding towns and beyond. This kind of generosity has lasted for several generations and have benefited so many families, other local businesses, and many town services. The Fenton family is truly a force to be reckoned with. Any challenge or obstacle they face, they tackle it together. They rely on each other for so much, and the community in turn relies on them for so much. If they could be awarded, guys, this is terrible. If they could be awarded every year, it wouldn't begin to touch upon the contributions and positive impact they have had in the region. Do you know why I'm crying? Whatever this says. Because you guys are inspirational to me. I think that as a business owner myself, it's really hard to balance it all. And I think about what would you guys do? No! So this is not only for their contributions in 2025, but also for everything that you've done since you were born. So thank you very much. And I think all of this is great. I loved, pictures of your city, but I lead by example. I think these people are the incredible leading by example people of our region, and I'm so happy to be in your shoes. So.
My mom and dad are on vacation right now. Yep. They like to hide from these events. We had great teachers and examples. My brother and I, we won the parents' lottery. I'm just incredibly grateful for my mom and dad for everything they've taught us and what to do.
One last thing too, and mom and dad have always said that the only reason that we exist and we're able to survive is because of our awesome community and the support that people give us. So we're happy to pay it forward, and we're appreciative for all the love you send us. Thank you.
All right, and I'm going to bring Doug back up for the last award. And Kelly Pickett of the Outing Club. If you are here today, could you please stand to be recognized? All right, and our community member of the year goes to the Fenton family. Now, as they make their way to the front, I'm sure you're like, oh, it's repeat. It's Tim. I got you. Okay, I know. So I cried a little bit when I was putting this slide together. I'm gonna get emotional. Okay. So there is not enough time in the day or enough words to say to express the dedication of this one family has towards the community. Guys, someone else might have to read this. I just get really emotional about these things. The Fenton family and their locally owned businesses have been involved with nearly every event, program, or activity in more than 8 surrounding towns and beyond. This kind of generosity has lasted for several generations and have benefited so many families, other local businesses, and many town services. The Fenton family is truly a force to be reckoned with. Any challenge or obstacle they face, they tackle it together. They rely on each other for so much, and the community in turn relies on them for so much. If they could be awarded, guys, this is terrible. If they could be awarded every year, it wouldn't begin to touch upon the contributions and positive impact they have had in the region. Do you know why I'm crying? Whatever this says. Because you guys are inspirational to me. I think that as a business owner myself, it's really hard to balance it all. And I think about what would you guys do? Girl, no! So this is not only for their contributions in 2025, but also for everything that you've done since you were born. So thank you very much. And I think all of this is great. I loved, pictures of your city, but I lead by example. I think these people are the incredible leading by example people of our region, and I'm so happy to be in your shoes. So. Okay. All right, I'm done. Is it après ski yet?
It's amazing. Okay. It's like so great. It's so special, really.
My mom and dad are on vacation right now.
Yeah.
They like to hide from these events. We had great teachers and examples. My brother and I, we won the parents' lottery. I'm just incredibly grateful for my mom and dad for everything they've taught us and what to do.
One last thing too, and mom and dad have always said that the only reason that we exist and we're able to survive is because of our awesome community and the support that people give us. So we're happy to pay it forward, and we're appreciative for all the love you send us. Thank you.
All right, and I'm going to bring Doug back up for the last award.
Business of the Year. And the nominees are Blue Loon Bakery, Dance Arts Academy, Fenton's Landing, New England Beauty and Wellness, Alley Oops Flowers and Gifts. And the winner is, do you have one of those things on your? Dance Arts Academy. Do you want me to, can I read this now? I'll try to get through it. Dance Arts Academy has been serving over 16 towns in the greater Lake Sunapee region for 10 years. They have seen hundreds of families and almost 1,000 students over that time. They provide a variety of dance classes, recreational and competitive programs, performance opportunities, volunteering, and participating in local area events. They donate over $6,000 a year back to their community in sponsorships, scholarships, and donations for various initiatives. The studio has supported community organizations, activities, and kids of all ages through their outreach from staff members and dance families alike. The staff of the studio give the dancers and families that attend classes a safe and educational space to develop their own creative path. The studio encourages being active members of the community and showcases not only how their dancers belong, but how they are making a difference. Their students volunteer at the Sunapee Farmers Market, perform at the Fells. They've read books to children at the library. They support and participate in many towns' holiday activities. DDA, or Dance Arts Academy, loves New London Hospital, and they always maintain the highest school standards, encouraging each dancer to be a strong individual, stay motivated, and always be kind are the foundation of the Dance Arts Academy. This incredible studio is celebrating its 10th year of bringing professional and inclusive dance styles to the Sunapee region. DDA offers a wide variety of dance styles and classes taught by highly trained teachers to every age group, from toddlers to adults. Anyone can call DDA home. Pardon? Oh.
I hate awards if I'm a part of them in some capacity. I just do. Because I feel like it's strange. It's weird, right? But I made it very clear to my board. I said, if this is happening, I cannot be the one to present, number one. Number two, I don't get a vote and I don't get a say. Sometimes I say, please don't. No, it's fine. It's okay, right? I think businesses that do a lot of great work hate to be recognized, right? And I think that my staff, specifically, they do a lot of work and they don't get the recognition they deserve. So today was wonderful and thank you for them. Whew. Okay, moving on. All right, next up, we have our chamber committee call. So where can you help the chamber and our goals for 2026? If any of these interest you, we encourage you to join us in the Hearthstone room because we're going to be doing some brainstorming and some kind of roundtable business discussions downstairs. So after the event here this morning, you can join us down there. And of course, what Doug had mentioned earlier is so incredibly important. We are here for you. We cannot do what we do unless you tell us what you need from us. So we can do what's industry standards, we can do best practices, we can do all those kinds of things, but really at the end of the day, you are the ones that we're here for, so your input matters a lot. Join a committee. I realize it's like, oh, Ashley, a committee, a task force, oh, you're killing me. I know it's hard sometimes to commit. We're already so wildly overbooked, but it really does help the organization move forward, and it also gives you an opportunity to exchange all of your ideas. A lot of you have ideas and you'll just like send me a text late at night or you'll send me a quick email and you'll say, hey, what about this? Can you go with that? Can you run with that? But I want you to help me with it, right? We want to kind of move that dial forward together. So next is what's coming up for the chamber. We have our chamber travel trip to Tuscany, Italy, which is happening in October. We have our info meeting on March 31st at 6. We have the New Hampshire Spring Conference, which I had mentioned that BEA Commissioner Lang is going to be there for, in Portsmouth on April 8 and 9. Coffee and Conversation at the Chamber, April 16. These are kind of the updates you'll get in your member update emails. Mascoma Bank Lunch and Learn, April 22. New Hampshire Department of Travel and Tourism Summit on May 4th in Concord. We will be attending that. As well as Doug. He'll be there as well. The Annual Business Resource Expo on May 13th from 11 to 1. This is an event we do with our Tri-Chamber friends. We're going to be doing that in Newport. It's a great opportunity to kind of connect with businesses should you need any help with marketing or financing or HR, any of those kinds of things. It's a great opportunity to do that. And then, of course, one of our favorite events of the year, the Market Opens. Sunapee Farmers Market opens on Saturday, May 23rd, which we're excited for. I don't know if we're excited for, Kelly. Are we excited for it? We're ready. We're ready. We're ready. And then, of course, save the date for our annual Black Fly Golf Tournament. There is a new date this year, dun, 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 May 28th. So May 21st is when it would normally fall, but that is Memorial Day weekend this year, just how the calendar falls. So May 28th is going to be the golf tournament this year. So keep that in mind. If you're able to attend, we'd love to have you. And then what's going on for the rest of the day? As we start to wrap up today, we want to showcase the 3 different opportunities people have. Our Casella-sponsored Chamber Ski Day kicks off. You can sign up downstairs at the Hearthstone room with us. And the Chamber Ski Day race sign-ups are going to be downstairs as well. Award winners for that will be announced around 2:45 or so. If you're not a skier, I have a lot of people who always ask me that. I'm not a skier. I don't have to come. You can come. You can always come. You don't have to worry about any sort of requirements that way. Don't worry, because downstairs we're going to have some business roundtable discussions and brainstorming to help us with our new year. We consider this our member retreat. So this is a great opportunity for you to kind of get out some of those ideas that have been flying around in your head. And then, of course, you can join us for the Après Ski, sponsored by our friends at Salt Hill Pub Shanty, from 3 to 4 p.m. today. Join staff and board members for a little post-event, post-ski, post-day mixer. It's kind of like a choose-your-own-adventure kind of day. So that's where we're at there. One last slide here. Just thank you for joining us today. Thank you for being such an incredible group of businesses and organizations that I get the opportunity to represent, which is wild every day. I wake up and do that. And I know Governor had said something to the effect of, every day she wakes up and she thinks about the fact that she's a problem solver, right? And I think that is very much the chamber industry, right? We're very much problem solvers with you and with all of you as well. And oftentimes, as I mentioned before, we get siloed, right? We kind of keep going around the rat race circle. Reach out to your chamber if you have something that you can't quite tackle, something that you have, a problem that you can't really understand how to wrap your brain around, right? We can certainly find those resources for you and be that problem solver. We can help in that regard. So Jen and I are looking forward to this coming year, and of course we're looking forward to that guide, so we'll be more excited when we get there. One last slide that just says thank you again to our incredible sponsors, Mount Sunapee Resort, Eversource Energy, Casella Waste Management, North Cape Design, Bar Harbor Bank and Trust, Dance Arts Academy, Sugar River Bank, Alley Oops Flowers and Gifts, Center for the Arts, Colby Sawyer College, Morgan Hill Bookstore, Culver Technologies, and of course Salt Hill Pub The Shanty. Thank you for supporting this event and supporting the Chamber over the course of the year. We hope you'll join us for the rest of the day, Chamber Ski Day or Member Retreat. And then, of course, let's work together to make 2026 the best year possible. Together, this is it. This is, if you get one thing out of today, together, ... we can achieve peak performance. Thank you. Uh-oh, he's coming back up.
I just would like to thank Katie Blake for her service in the last 3 years as president.
Thank you so much.
And I also wanted to thank Ashley and Jenna for putting this together. Great job. And the wait staff for Mount Sunapee, Joan Fowler, our director. And if you're staying, get out there and enjoy it. And if you're heading home, be safe. Come back to the shanty at 3. Thank you very much, everybody.
The Lake Sunapee region is one of the few communities in the country where you can ski year-round. During the summer season, the lake provides water skiing, fishing, swimming, and boating. During the winter, Mount Sunapee Resort, located at the south end of the lake, is one of the most popular ski and snowboard destinations in New Hampshire. The views of Lake Sunapee from the trails in Sun Bowl are spectacular. For more information about visiting our beautiful area, contact the Lake Sunapee Region Chamber of Commerce.
This program is supported by H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating. Their full-service model offers oil delivery, propane, motor fuels with design, installation, service, and maintenance of all types of oil, gas, and alternative energy systems, as well as air conditioning, water conditioning systems, and backup generators. Their highly trained and friendly staff will assist you throughout the process of buying, installing, and servicing a full line of energy products. H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating. Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire since 1997, with roots going back much further as the country press, AccuMail, and the home of the Kearsarge shopper. Echo Communications. Main Street Bookends of Warner, for books, toys, games, cards, gifts, and a gallery of local art. Main Street Bookends of Warner. The Innertown Record, your weekly hometown community newspaper covering the Kearsarge Sunapee Sunshine region of New Hampshire. The Innertown Record.
Points to corporate
Freedom of the press is about your right to know.
And Clark sheer athleticism.
It's about your right to be informed.
stock market.
Today, there are real threats to press freedom.
Reaching residential areas.
And your right to know about the world around us. We must protect our right to know, no matter what kind of news is important to you. Before it's too late. Understand the threats. ProtectPressFreedom.org.
The Lake Sunapee region is one of the few communities in the country where you can ski year-round. During the summer season, the lake provides water skiing, fishing, swimming, and boating. During the winter, Mount Sunapee Resort, located at the south end of the lake, is one of the most popular ski and snowboard destinations in New Hampshire. The views of Lake Sunapee from the trails in Sun Bowl are spectacular. For more information about visiting our beautiful area, contact the Lake Sunapee Region Chamber of Commerce.